Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday, October 23rd. I've got several things to report, but we just launched an operation in West Virginia. We called it Operation October Sky. We just, I'm proud to announce the success of this operation. It was an aggressive initiative led by my administration to combat the drug crisis that's really probably happening for the most part on this terrible invasion of folks that we let come across our southern border. We all know of the terrible consequences that we've all suffered, and many in a very significantly worse way. But during the October Sky option, we have now seized 28 pounds of meth, nearly half a pound of fentanyl, 18 fentanyl pills, along with, other dangerous drugs like heroin and cocaine. We made 70 felony arrests, 176 misdemeanor arrests. We took 30 firearms off the streets, including 15 handguns and 14 rifles, along with $31,000 of illegal drug money. We can't just focus on treatment. We surely need treatment without any question, but we need to do something too about drugs that are flowing across our state borders into West Virginia. And so we've had our great law enforcement folks step up, and I've got Rob and Jack with me right now, and and Jack Chambers and Rob Cunningham are going to speak and tell us about all this and everything. But I congratulate them, and like I said, what we want to do is make it more and more difficult for people to do bad things in the state of West Virginia, and we're going to stand up everywhere we can to assure that absolutely happens. But Rob, go ahead.
All right, thank you, Governor. This is the second year in a row we have ran an operation similar to this at the Governor's direction, and it has been overwhelmingly successful. When Jack Lucart explains to you the difference in the numbers between the 2 years, you will see what working together between our local police agencies, the National Guard Counter Drug, the Fusion Center, our state police, everyone working together, we are really able to make a dent in this fight against illegal drugs. We had in this initiative, we had 27 different agencies throughout the state of West Virginia that participated. Not only just the agencies themselves, but we also had the drug units working with us. There was a very sizable seizure of 20 plus pounds of methamphetamine in this initiative. So I want to thank all of the police officers and the leadership that had them participate. You really made a difference. You really made a difference in what we are able to do to protect the people of the state of West Virginia. Now I will have our Fusion Center Director, Jack Lucart, explain the differences between the 2 years and what a great success we're having.
Thank you, Rob, and thank you, Governor. As Cabinet Secretary Cunningham said, with the Governor's staff asking us to coordinate this effort, we put the information out, and the overwhelming response from our state's law enforcement, the immediate answer to the call to participate in this. And something that's very important is many of these agencies, most of them, did this during normal working hours. There was not overtime monies available or personnel available to come out and make specific efforts, although there were some agencies that did that. Specifically, the West Virginia State Police and Colonel Chambers dedicated individuals out here to go out and participate in this in areas all over the state. But as a result of that, as Rob mentioned, Metro Drug Unit, the seizure of 20 pounds of methamphetamine. Seizures of the drugs were up significantly from years prior. The increases in the amounts is significant. What has happened is individuals who were transporting ounces of methamphetamine or ounces of fentanyl are now transporting pounds of methamphetamine and pounds of fentanyl. You see on your screen there some examples of some cases that were highlighted, and this is just a small sample of what came out of this initiative. In addition to this initiative, our state's law enforcement, the task forces, and the specialized units, the street crimes, the specialized units that agencies have are out here doing their job on a day-to-day basis. And something that's very, very significant that I'd just like to mention, Charleston Police Department's street crimes unit executed a search warrant just days prior to this operation, and they seized 8.5 pounds of fentanyl. You can imagine the impact of that amount of fentanyl getting on the street and being distributed out here to people, the possibility of death as a result of that. West Virginia is not a source state, so that fentanyl was transported here at one time. So these efforts on a day-to-day basis do make a difference, but when we were able to bring people together and utilize specific data to target routes of travel and modes of operation, that makes it even more successful. And Governor, in 2020, you directed us to establish a narcotics intelligence unit. And as part of that, what we were able to do is provide our law enforcement with specific information, specific intelligence that tells them where to focus their efforts.
Well, Jack and Rob, I do appreciate you more than you'll know, and all of us in this great state appreciate all the folks, whether it be Jack Lucart, it'd be, Rob Cunningham, it'd be Jack Chambers, all the different agencies that are involved in working on all this great stuff. Again, we're very, very blessed. Our National Guard, all the different folks that look after us in this great state all the time. We're very, very blessed, and it's a crying, pitiful shame when you really think about it. I mean, the bottom line to this whole thing is one thing, and one thing. Now, that's not fair. The primary bottom line is one thing, and that is just this: the Biden administration has let, and it's argumentative whether the number is 7 or 8, or 10 or 12, or maybe even 15. But the number is staggering how many millions of people have come across our southern border. And absolutely, we know without question, some percentage of them are coming across with some bad stuff. And it may be way more bad than just this terrible drug epidemic. Now, it can't get much worse than this in my book, but yes, it can. And so, with all that being said, it's terrible. It's just plain terrible. I mean, what is wrong with us in this country? How can we possibly think that it's okay? It's okay to just open the southern border, have this influx of people like we can't imagine, know that a bunch of known terrorists are now in this country that wouldn't have been. What is wrong with us? And I hope to goodness that we'll take that to the poll. And I know we're going to do the right thing in West Virginia, but I am telling you, this election is too close. It's too close. That's all there is to it. I said to a group of folks yesterday in Clarksburg, here's what I said. I said, do I have something wrong with me? Because I really try to pay real attention. I can't make any sense at all out of what Kamala Harris is trying to say. I have really tried. But for the most part, when she speaks, she's speaking in a thought loop. Absolutely, the whole loop stays together. And what she's saying, I don't get. I don't get it all. But the thing that I can't believe, what is wrong with America? Can you not understand? Absolutely. Do you really want this lady to end up our absolute president of our entire country? I mean, what in the world? How could this election even be remotely close? And I hope and pray it's not. But goodness gracious, whether it be runaway inflation, wars all over the globe, crime absolutely all over our nation, what in the world is wrong with us? You know, to think that it's okay for men to participate in girl sports or ladies sports. Why do we absolutely, how can we possibly not just get back to logic, common sense, what's made America what America truly is, honor and respect all across the globe? I mean, heaven to Betsy, I just can't get it. I can't get it at all. Okay, switching channels. Today I'm announcing a new rural hospital grant program to help improve health care in our more hard to get to parts of our state. We got $40 million. We're accepting applications and everything to you know, on these grants right now, and the money's going to be out by November the 15th. So if you're wanting in on this, you got to get with it right now. You know, our DOH report, you know, in regard to the drop in overdose deaths, you know, you know, the you know, there's you know, today I'm announcing that West Virginia has seen a 34% decrease in overdose deaths in the first part of the year. We all know that, you know, I just think really we're improving in West Virginia. We're improving with education and everything. There's a lot of people doing a lot of good work, and but at the end of the day, we've still got a big problem in West Virginia with drugs, and we need to stay on top of it. Okay, early voting begins today in West Virginia. I think you got 13 days, but I would encourage you to get out and take advantage of the early voting and get your vote counted and everything. And I know we're going to do the right thing in West Virginia. I don't have any concerns about West Virginia. But if you just look around, you know, whether it be Pennsylvania, I believe with all in me that if Trump doesn't win Pennsylvania, I think we're in trouble. You know, there's some other real possibilities that are at play right now. We've got to win North Carolina for sure, you know, but you know, whether it be Michigan or or possibility of Wisconsin, but I would just encourage you, go vote. Please just get out and vote. That's all there is to it. This entire nation is counting on all of us. So all across the globe, all across this nation especially, anybody you know, pick up the phone and call them and just talk about how important this election is and just get out and vote. Yesterday we were in Clarksburg at the terminal and everything, a new terminal building is getting ready to open and everything. It's at North Central Airport. I've said it 10 million times, you know, but a group of 4 or 5 guys walked in my office and everything, walked in over to Mansion, and they had a proposal on an idea on what we could do possibly at North Central Airport. This is before we had any money and everything, and But their idea and the growth level of what really was about to happen or could happen in this area, it was so sound. And so we found a way. We found a way to really invest in this airport. And with all that, then we ended up contributing to moving a lot of dirt, leveling a lot of land. Business is exploding at this airport. Manufacturing is teetotally exploding. Absolutely. Now they have a $54 million terminal building that's getting ready to open. Absolutely, if we don't believe that the heartbeat of our communities is our airports, this is a real story. You talk about a story of amazing success. Right there it is. And not only there, but all you got to do is look out the windows of there, and you're going to see all these incredible companies with an unbelievable amount of thousands of jobs and opportunity all across this area and everything. Great, great, great stuff. And in addition to that, who knows the untold tens of millions of dollars that they've invested and are generating right there in this area. It's a wonderful, wonderful story. On Friday of last week, we were at the O School in Lewisburg. To present $13.6 million, ceremonial signing of Senate Bill 2020, and there you have the O School folks, and I'm signing that ceremonial bill right there, and basically is twofold: to do a whole lot of neat stuff and good stuff for that school, renovations and everything. But the other thing is it was a commitment to preserve, the memories of Greenbrier Military School. The O School was Greenbrier Military School years ago. I attended Greenbrier Military School as a postgraduate, told a few stories about that and everything, but what an incredible school that was in that community forever and a day. And so we should never forget. And so many graduates, so many people that are now continuing to contribute to West Virginia, a lot of different areas in a lot of different ways. So it's really good stuff happening at our O School. Oh gosh, the time just goes and everything. But last week we were at Frankfort Elementary in Mineral County, and we delivered a check for $100,000 to bring in a new or to get them over the top where they can have a brand new playground. That elementary school had 700 kids there. 700 kids at that elementary school. And boy, I'll tell you, it was an exciting day. We loved being there. The school's brand new. The gymnasium naturally is brand new. They need a playground. I mean, absolutely good stuff and everything. And so from the standpoint of Baby Dog and myself, we loved it. We absolutely loved it. All those kids came by and said hi to Baby Dog and hi to me, and a lot of fun in my book, but a lot of good stuff. Thank you. Kathy is continuing to expand her therapy dogs and community schools, has done unbelievable work. And, Kathy looks happy right there, hugging that beautiful little dog and everything. And I'm really proud of her. She's done a great job. That's 39 therapy dogs. This one was at Bellington Middle School, and that's in the northern part of the state and everything around Morgantown. But that's number 39. We're going to keep it up. We're going to keep running until we get through the finish line. Awful good stuff right there. I was talking to my son about this, but I was on the way down here today, and back in September, I'm talking to you just a second about the fall foliage. Back in early September, it was so dry. It was off the chart. And the poplar leaves were beginning to change, and they changed first, and they turned to yellow, a brighter yellow, not gold. And And so all of a sudden they were just drying up. I had never seen leaves changing in relatively early September. And so we were talking about it, and we said, well, you know, this year's colors are going to be really fast because the dry weather has really affected that, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, through the hurricanes and all that, we got about 6 inches of rain. And then the forest almost turned back green. Now, the normal period of really our fall colors is probably the first 10 days of October. And it's October the 23rd, I think, today. And absolutely, our forest turned back green. And now, lo and behold, we've gotten a little bit of cold weather. You know, the trees have retained their leaves. Normally, by October 23rd, you'd be able to grouse hunt because most of the leaves would be off the trees, and it's really difficult to grouse hunt with all that foliage on the trees because you can't see. But with all that being said, there's almost, the leaf fall has surely not been significant yet, and the colors are unbelievable. So get out and enjoy this special treat. I always say it's God showing off, and it's beautiful. It really touches your heart in my book. It's really, really pretty. And, well, I've got a couple of more things. This Paranormal Trail has become a big hit. Now 5,000 people signed up and visitors from 39 states and 3 countries. We've got 3 more stops or 4 more stops that are we've put on the list and everything, bringing it to a total of 18. We have a West Virginia Bigfoot Museum, the Silver Run Tunnel, the Cryptic Mountain Miniature Golf, and Hempfield Tunnel, you know, at Wheeling Heritage Trail. And so we've added some stuff, and Chelsea is a great idea, and a lot of folks are enjoying, and just brings more and more people to West Virginia. It's good stuff. Last thing is Saturday night. You know, Baby Dog had the opportunity to flip the coin in the beginning of the Kansas State WVU game, and there you can see, you know, first I had her paw, and then when I went forward and everything, coin went up. We were having a hard enough time holding on to her, and but everybody watching the coin, as the coin fell and everything, bingo, we won the toss. Not so fortunate with the game, but we started on the right foot, and like I said, I really felt like we were going to win that game going away, and now I guess we're teeing up against Arizona. We ought to get Arizona and get back on the right foot. But I wish Neil Brown and all the folks at WVU the very, very best, and want them to win. I mean, I absolutely know they want it more than anybody, but you know, continue to represent West Virginia well and everything. We thank them. That's all I've got right now.
All right, thank you, Governor. We'll now take questions from members of the media. First up today is Charles Young with WV News.
Hi, this is Charles Young with WV News. Governor, you just mentioned the start of early voting and election season. Could you talk about when and how you and the First Lady plan to vote? Will you all be waiting until Election Day, or are you going to be voting absentee or early this year? Thank you.
Charles, I'm not positive, you know, but I'd say we'll vote on Election Day. We always have, and you know, it seems like an honored tradition, and but at the same time, I really do encourage folks to get out early and vote. But crying out loud, we're busy. I mean, that's all there's to it. I'm running my hind end off and everything, and so I'd say we're going to vote on Election Day.
Charles, thank you. Next up is Amelia Farrell-Nicely with West Virginia Watch.
Hi, Governor. Hope you're doing well today. I want to talk to you about, or ask you a question, I'm sorry, about foster care. The class action lawsuit that was filed in 2019 by A Better Childhood against DOHS now has a trial date set in March. And DOHS had previously said in a press release they wanted to avoid a costly trial. I've reached out to them several times and haven't heard back. So I wanted to ask you, are you hoping that DOHS can settle in this suit or get a summary judgment and avoid a trial? And also, do you feel like the foster care system has improved since this lawsuit was filed?
It's Amelia, is that correct? Amelia, here's what I know, and I don't know a lot about this case at all, but for what I know, there's no merit to the case at all. You know, there's a motion for summary judgment, and you know, but from what I know, in my opinion, there's no merit to the case, and you know, so I'd like to add more, but I really don't. I don't know anything else I can add.
Thank you, Amelia. Next up is Stephen Allen Adams with Ogden News.
Yeah, Steve Adams with Ogden Newspapers here. Tomorrow marks the deadline for the subgrant applications for the BEAD program, which is one more step to getting out this $1.2 billion the state was awarded for broadband expansion efforts. As you constantly say, you've got a few months left to go. But what can be done between now and then to also continue to speed things up for broadband expansion? I know companies are now discussing the issues of pole attachments and some of the things going on with that. The broadband summit's going on or was going on yesterday. There was some talk there about some consternation with DOH in right-of-ways and trying to get fiber into some of those right-of-ways. So what can be done on your end over the next couple months to speed things along, especially as some of this money starts to go out the door? Thanks.
Well, Stephen, you know me well enough to know that I'm not going to dodge anything. I do believe, and I've pushed for this, that our broadband office is working to streamline the processes, and I think that'd help. We have made, and I'm trying to be really fair to all those folks that, that are out there. I mean, we've tried to have DOH waive fees, on applications and stuff like that we felt like, would be beneficial. To say there's nothing that can be done, come on, give me a break. I'm not that guy at all. I am a guy that always believes that there's something you can do, and so remember I've said it 10,000 times, and I hope that everybody remembers this, but me standing in front of my dad's desk, 18 years old, and standing there saying, Dad, there wasn't anything I could do. And about that time, the whole desk exploded as he grabbed me around my shirt and just slammed me down on the desk and said, damn you, there's always something you can do, and you better damn well always remember that. Well, that's the way I live. And so I really believe, sure, we can do better. We can do a lot better. Now, with all that being said, we've done a lot of good. We've done a tremendous amount of good. And through the cooperation with the legislature and my office and all the different things that we've got going on, there's been an unbelievable uptick in the movement of broadband all across the state. So we want to keep it going, and you're only going to have me a couple more months, but really and truly, Stephen, from my standpoint, I'm going to continue to push to try to do everything I can possibly do to help, streamline, do anything and everything we can do, but we can do better. We can just, I would absolutely say that every time we bring more and more and more people online, all across this state, creates more and more and more good potential all across our state. So for the next governor and the governors to be, this is the real deal. And we deserve to be connected first and foremost, but the economic impact of really being connected is absolutely the very, very best thing for all of us. So, Stephen, I don't know what all I can do in the next 2 months, But I'm just not gonna lay down on the job. I'm gonna run through the finish line. You know that.
Stephen, thank you. Next up is Brad McElhaney with West Virginia Metro News.
Hi, Governor. As you might know, you're a candidate for U.S. Senate. The U.S. Constitution empowers Congress to set tariffs, a power that Congress has partially delegated to the president. Each of the presidential candidates has talked about tariffs. Former President Trump wants broad and big tariffs. Vice President Harris has called Trump's tariff proposals, quote, a sales tax on the American people. Do you support widespread use of tariffs as a tool to affect international trade? Thank you.
Brad, tariffs are there for a reason, are they not? And what they're there for is to make sure, as best we possibly can, that people play by the rules. You know, Brad, I would do what has to be done to make people play by the rules. You know, I don't like stuff being dumped in this country like steel or whatever it may be. You know, absolutely, with all in me, I think it destroys jobs and on and on and on. I would be a real live advocate. I have said this 1,000 times, but we've got to bring back manufacturing to this country. I think President Trump is an advocate whatsoever, you know, in every way about that. But Brad, it's not an easy task. It's not an easy task. But absolutely, I really do believe that the Trump tariffs that were in place before, did they not serve us well? I mean, this idea, you know, I mean, Brad, we may really differ in how we feel about this, but like I said earlier, I can't make any sense out of Kamala Harris in anything she's saying. And for her to say, oh, the Trump tariffs, you know, really are just going to run the cost of goods up out of sight in West Virginia or in this nation. Did they before? Did they before? I mean, the Trump tariffs were there a long time. Did they before? Did the Biden administration not take advantage of that to a degree? Well, they did. Where's she been? You know, I mean, she acts like she's lived in a cave, you know, but she just spouts off everything in 90 different directions. Brad, the bottom line to the whole thing, you got a seasoned businessman that absolutely can take the reins to this country and lead us with his seasoned experience. Or you've got a very, very, very inexperienced person that's just coming up with, you know, things to hit back at. You know, now, can I tell you all the intricacies about tariffs? I can tell you wholeheartedly why they're there. They're in place to create a level playing field to some degree, you know, but, you know, I think we're dealing with experience versus romper room. And I would choose experience over romper room, just how I feel.
Brad, thank you. Everybody else, thank you as well. Governor, back to you.
Okay, let me see what I got here real quick. Again, congratulations, Kathy, on the dogs and the therapy dogs. Is great stuff. Remember, everybody, early vote. You know, if you choose to wait and go out on election day, it's great too. But whatever you do, election day or early vote, vote. My gracious, please vote. You know. And congratulations to our law enforcement and all the great folks and everything that really, really helped out a whole bunch, probably saved some lives and everything. You know, this Operation October Sky, you know, for Rob and Jack and the other Jack and everything. Great work. Get out and enjoy the beautiful foliage in this great state. And that's all I've got for right now. Listen, I love you with all my soul. Keep doing good stuff. Thank y'all.